It's been a week of distraction. I was asked right before a TV show yesterday, who are you taking? Are you taking Pittsburgh or Cleveland? I said, I'm taking Pittsburgh. Okay, why? I got to give a reason. I said, well, they traded away Joe Flacco on Monday, which is not a reason because he wasn't going to play. Then they traded away Grant Delpit on Wednesday night, their starting cornerback, before the game. That's probably more of a reason that they've been dealing with distraction all week. That we've been talking about everything else because the Browns front office has made these moves. We've been talking about everything else before the game because we haven't had the chance to talk about the game. I mean, Calvin Austin's probably not going to play. Is Alec Highsmith going to play?
I thought
sure if he's going to play.
I thought yesterday it was looking like yes.
Oh, he's banged up. I mean, who's going to play, who's not going to be able to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers? We haven't had a chance to really talk about it because you've been making trades.
Yeah.
And
this was not a week to break down the Steelers game. This was a week to talk about big trades. Two guys that were starters to begin the year. Joe Flacco, your quarterback, and Greg Newsome, who'd been playing his best football of his career.
Listen, if you feel you got to make moves, Jalen Ramsey, it looks like he's not going to play either. But if you got to make moves, you got to make moves when you got to make them. Okay, they come around fine. And I know Kevin Stefanski, yesterday, bring this clip up. Yesterday, he did try to, see, here I am going about something that's not the Steelers game. Kevin Stefanski yesterday on his show did try to clarify, I think, comments made about the Flacco trade and everything. I know that they highlighted that on the fans' Twitter account yesterday, which might give you a little bit more color behind, what happened with the Joe Flacco trade. They got called. They decided that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make that move, and that's the way it went. But because you make those moves where it calls us into question about what your job is, or excuse me, what your thoughts were going into this season. What was the quarterback competition, or even, I can't even say the competition. The competition isn't a competition. It was the plan. It was the plan. It wasn't about a starting quarterback competition where, they should not have said it's a 4-guy competition to be the starter. Clearly, it was maybe between 2 guys. Maybe. But when you make that move after like the Kenny Pickett move, I'm going, why did you have guys taking the reps they did in the first place? Which, by the way, I know Daryl loves to do. I told you so. Boy, did I tell you so, because I was getting ripped up and down a few weeks ago about the whole Kenny Pickett thing, and here we are. I'm glad you've come to my side here. Here's Kevin Stefanski yesterday on his show about the quote-unquote surprise of the Joe Flacco trade.
Those things happen so fast. So the initial call comes in, I don't remember the exact day, but surprised that they're in the market, and obviously Joe's a guy that we think highly of and a teammate and all those type of things. So you're not sure where it goes, and there's conversations going back and forth, and then the conversations start heating up, and it happens over the course of a 24-hour period. And we'll talk about Greg Newsome here in a second. This is the business of football. These things happen really, really fast, and when other teams come calling, it can kind of take you off guard that you didn't expect them to come calling for your guys. But I trust Andrew and our crew and the dialogue that we have. I trust that we make really good decisions for this football team.
We beat Kevin up on Monday because of what happened against Minnesota, and rightfully so, at least in our eyes, unless you disagree with that right now. We beat Kevin up would have been Wednesday because of the messaging of the whole trade and everything like that. It looked like there was the first seeds of dissension that were sown about a possible power struggle. No matter what people want to say to try to explain it away, it didn't look very good. Then you hear that clip. I don't think you're going to win this game on Sunday because I don't trust your culture. I don't trust the guys that are in the locker room to bring this team along and go out there and win a game in a tough environment that you haven't won since 2003 in the regular season. I don't trust what you've done. Can Kevin redeem himself if they go and they win this game? Because I question, he's not a fiery guy. I've questioned that part about it. He's gotten excited here and there, but not really. He's not a bad cusser or anything like that. I actually think he's a good cusser when he's talking to the team and they bleep it out. I think, though, that he's not the type of guy that's going to give you anywhere near the Dan Campbell, the Mike Vrabel, the rah-rah if you need it. None of that. And I think right now, this is where you batten down the hatches. I mean, you can do X's and O's, and Aaron Rodgers is still really good. You can do all that. You got to get these guys on the same page emotionally. You're about to ride a bus out to Pittsburgh and play a team that's leading your division and is tough. And I just don't know if you got your head in the right place and your heart in the right place to go out there and win that game. That said, you go out there and you do win that game, I think we could change some tunes about Kevin.
You mean
or
just
at least start to right some wrongs maybe that we've been saying, myself included, have been saying about Kevin.
Look,
it's an opportunity.
The only way for Kevin to reverse any of the stuff that's out there is to start winning games. And the old lovable cliche that we use, stacking wins. They gotta do it. I know people roll their eyes. They don't think it's going to happen. But you look at the schedule, the winnable games are coming. And this one was never circled before the season as a, quote, winnable game. Not even because Pittsburgh's really great this year, even though the record is pretty good. It's just because we never win. We've had great teams, or pretty good teams, that have not been able to win in Pittsburgh in the regular season. Obviously, we all know what happened in a playoff game. So I think that's part of it. Kevin just needs to win games to get people off his back. And I don't even know how many that would take, because some people are just out on him, period. There have been people that have been out on him for a few years. So with those people, you're not gonna change their hearts and minds. But I think there still is a group that is fickle and will go either way with them depending on the outcomes. He needs to win. He needs good results.
If I have folks that are doing, and I know that you've said that these people are longtime Andrew Berry supporters, could the draft class start to warm you up about Andrew Berry? A quick question. Even if, say, they finish 6-11 this year, can the draft class warm you up towards Andrew Berry?
Sure.
Okay, then if they go out there and they win this game on Sunday, could that not start to warm you up a little bit towards Kevin Stefanski? Knowing that, hey, the rest of the season can go like hell. The rookies could start playing like rookies.
Yeah.
So if I'm willing to warm up a little bit, I don't want to go swinging, falling back in love, and all that other stuff, because that's too emotional, that's too dramatic. I have to hold myself accountable to that way. But I'm really sore about what happened on Sunday against Minnesota. I thought that was an opportunity. The first 6 games are tough. You had yourself a chance. You screwed yourself over on the chance. You get ready for this game. You're going against Pittsburgh. I've just called out your culture, for crying out loud. And if you find a way to circle the wagons there, I'm going to eat a little bit of crow and be excited about it on Monday morning now, aren't I? I mean, this is a challenge towards Kevin Stefanski and the leadership group, quote unquote, that they have on that football team. Because I don't think there's very many fans out there, and I think some are probably just hoping because it's any given Sunday in the NFL. I don't think there's many fans out there who are diehard orange and brown Browns fans who do believe that you're going to give yourself a chance to win on Sunday. Like, that's part of it. Will you give yourself a chance to win on Sunday?
But I'll tell you,
or will we warm up and go through the motions and go out there and get beat?
First of all, Kevin Stefanski always takes one from Pittsburgh, right? And he's beaten Baltimore. Baltimore's been great in the regular season.
Ain't
the
done
last
it over there, though. And they've had some really scary evenings.
Sure, but I'll say this. Like, if Dylan Gabriel wins the game on the road, and it's not just like dink and dunk and screens. Like, if he's actually throwing the ball down the field,
all he needs to do is win. I know where you're going with this.
I think there's a total difference. I think Browns fans, they're not stupid. They know good quarterback play. They will know good quarterback play, and they'll be able to tell the difference between plug and play quarterback and, oh, this guy could elevate everybody else around him. There is a huge difference there, and that does transcend just winning a game in Pittsburgh. You know, if they dink and dunk and win a game by a point and whatever, yeah, we'll be excited. But if it's, oh my God, Dylan Gabriel's good. Like, he is doing things we didn't think he could do. He's actually showing that he's got accuracy down the field and stretching the field. Then it's a different story altogether. Now there's reason to galvanize behind everything that's
I'm willing
going on.
to just take a win, and this is where I'm going to split hairs with you. I'm willing to just take a win because I don't think that they can win in detriment of Dylan Gabriel. I don't think that he can be somebody who's a net negative and then go out and win. I think they kind of did it with Joe Flacco a few weeks ago, but I just don't think that lightning is going to strike twice in an NFL season. So you got to go out there, and I think Dylan Gabriel on the road is going to have to execute at some decent level.
Yeah, but
I would say a high level, even though that defense ain't that great.
He's going to have 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 9s, 3rd and 10s. And if he's converting those, and again, we're not talking just dump-offs.
Yeah, you got to be good.
He's going to have to stretch the field. There are going to be some uncomfortable situations for Dylan Gabriel. Kevin did everything he could to make sure that he wasn't put in those spots. That's going to be impossible this week. There are going to be moments and where that pocket is going to suffocate and collapse, and he's got to start to make plays and look like a decent NFL quarterback. You can't baby him forever. You're just not going to get away with that. especially in a game in Pittsburgh. And so that's what I'm talking about. Fans will recognize that. If he's able to do that, that'll be really exciting.
I'm telling you, man. Do you have faith that they'll be able to rally the troops and get going? Do you have faith?
I don't have a ton of faith. No.
So that's 2/3 of the show. Do you believe that? That's 3/3 of the show right there, and I don't know what Mitch is doing, so I'm just going to say it's an official show stance. I'm sorry. I don't think that you have the culture to go over there in Pittsburgh and go beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. I'd love to see it happen. I've never wanted to be more wrong, maybe in my career, than I am about this situation. This is a personal challenge. I'm a Browns fan, damn it. You're a Browns fan. Oh, and you like the Browns. I don't care. I know you're a Chiefs fan, but I'm putting you in the group. I'm putting you in the group, damn it. This is a personal challenge from Browns fans in this studio to that organization, to Kevin, because I love the Browns, and I'll die loving the Browns. But damn it, I don't think that you got the culture to go over there and beat them. I'll lay the challenge down right now because it's going to take guts to go over there and beat them. You're going to have to ask more because you don't have the horses to just go out there and beat them. You might have a couple of good diamonds in the rough right there, but you ain't got the horses. So you got a football team that has finished around 9-8 over the last how many years? That has really just existed over the last how many years with Mike Tomlin. Don't think there's not a chance to go out there and beat them. There's a chance to do it. But are you going to be able to put away the distraction? And not having Joe there, that's fine. But are you going to be able to put away the distraction and not having Greg Newsome there, of all the conversation that's been going around this week about everything that's not the Pittsburgh Steelers? Are you going to be able to compartmentalize that and go beat them? I don't think you can. The challenge is out there. And if they do rise to that challenge, I'll give Miles credit. I'll give Joel credit. I'll give the leadership council of what they have credit.
Ooh, the council, the tribunal.
And I will come in here and go, damn it, Kevin, I was as mad as I possibly could be on Sunday afternoon. And I was really mad on Monday about what you did. But clearly you have had to have come up with a game plan and had to have motivated these guys to go out to Pittsburgh and win for the first time in the regular season since 2003. Damn it, that's a big moment, and I would love to be able to do it on Monday. But I don't think they got it in them. 216-474-0092. So let me ask you guys this. I think a lot of people are like, yeah, I don't know what our chances are, Ken. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. How much can Kevin do to redeem himself if they go and they beat Pittsburgh on Sunday? How much can the guys in the locker room, the leadership council, how much can they do to redeem themselves and go out there and beat Pittsburgh on Sunday and not just roll over and get boat raced?